Yo, YouTubers. I'll try and make this as quick as I can, because like I say, whenever I use this webcam camera, that's why the quality is not, I don't know, like, testing 1 2 3, the microphone on my web camera. It's a bit like it's a bit muffly, the sound, I know, like, but this is just for quick messages. I use this camera, and I don't have to, it just goes straight to YouTube, doesn't it? And it's a separate camera. It's not a laptop, you know, with the camera built in. It's one of those separate webcam that's plugged in through a USB. But I think it's useful for just these quick messages, right? Just a couple of messages, and let's hope I can get through, because sometimes I get halfway through the speeches and I don't know what happens. It just suddenly cuts off and it says, you've been disconnected, reconnect. And it's, you know, you get halfway through a speech and it goes off all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It's really awkward. But I just want to clarify, you know, the way I've been saying in my messages, because one of my subbers came back to me and said, well, I use a smartphone kind of thing, and I'm thinking of getting rid of it and that kind of stuff, right? You know, because I've been putting messages out saying to people, oh, don't be using your iPhones, don't be stupid. But I've got to clarify, right, guys. I know some of you out there haven't got a computer or a PC or a laptop, so your only means of communication on YouTube, which, you know, it's the only way we can keep in touch with each other, isn't it, and get these messages out to one another, aside from the media, the mass media, the news channels, all the usual stuff, which is a load of bull, isn't it? We all know that all the stuff on mainstream media is a load of crap, right? So some of us, we communicate to one another through YouTube, right? YouTube is the main source. We know it's all being corrupted, we're all being surrounded, we're all being fenced off. I mean, one of the craziest things in YouTube is, you know, when you upload a video and you choose your category, you know, like there's a little list of categories, like people and blogs, like this. I'll put this one up as people and blogs, right? Well, think about it, right? I have done database, you know, when in my computer courses, and you do database, and you learn that when you do database, you can sort of predetermine things like algorithms and things to spot things and that. And if you noticed in the list of categories, right, there's no category for like God-fearing people or people of faith. There's no category that says faith and belief or God, or there's nothing there at all, is there? You know what I mean? Even though there's loads of believers on YouTube in their own languages, speaking in their own way, there's actually no category for it, right? But they make sure they put one in there that says non-profits and activism, right, or activists. Non-profit and activist, right? And I've used that category a few times on some of my videos, but obviously in the database somewhere, in the YouTube database, right, or in Google's database, they must have a database that sort of goes, find every person that's used YouTube. You know, when the shit hits the fan and they're gonna like start trying to round us up, or I don't know how they're gonna work it out, you know, like the film War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, and these like alien things go around picking everyone up in a basket. That's what it's going to be like. We'll all be in a basket hanging underneath these robots, like they like, and we'll all be people looking at each other saying like, how come you got here? Like, and say, well, I put a video on YouTube that said like non-profits and activism. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause it's like, that's what it's there for, so they can spot us that easy. Like Facebook can reckon. I know CIA is using Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So it's obvious, right? I've done it. I've put the category in, like, you know, non-profits and activism. But I was like saying to them, like, hey, come on, I'm over here, I'm an activist. So, you know, so sometimes you got to like choose an alternative thing. Like, there's music, isn't there? There's music, education, sport, but there's nothing to do with faith. You notice that, right? But they made sure they put non-profits and activism. So if we put, you know, obviously we're signing our, like, might as well walk in front of a firing squad, mightn't we, while we're at it, like, you know, because all they have to do is check that out, don't they? Go check out every single person on YouTube who's used non-profits and activism. Straight away we've got a target on our head, like a, you know, saying this one's one of them. Right, but anyway, back to the thingy. I know there's people out there, right, who they haven't got a computer, they haven't got a PC, right, and their only means of communication is using an iPhone. And I know there's loads of people out there, guys, right, who have got an iPhone, right, and they use it. Like, there's a guy I watch on I'm sub to from England called Peter Stafford, for example, right, and this guy, he's a sound fella from Preston in England, and his videos are mainly about all the stick he gets off Preston Council and the social security, the way they treat him, because he's mentally ill, he's got problems, he admits that, right, and he's been getting stick off the council and stuff like that. He's been evicted, and he's a good fella, you know what I mean. He's just a sound. Check him out, guys, you know what I mean. If you Peter Stafford, he's a good fella, like. But obviously that guy, like, he's been evicted, and he's on the move or whatever. He moves from place to place, and obviously his only form of communication is his iPhone, right? So you can get a use out of the things, right? So you can use them as a portable camera for the meet. I mean, if I had one, I wouldn't mind using it for putting posts on YouTube like this, these kind of blogs. It's ideal for blogs, you know what I mean. That's one useful thing that you can get out of your iPhone, guys, is like, if you're going to do something useful, to put a blog on YouTube, and it must upload in like really fast, you know what I mean. So I get that, right, guys. I'm not knocking people who've simply got iPhones, right. I know there's good people out there who've got no choice, they haven't got a computer or a PC or a laptop or anything like that, right? And when I say, all you people out there, you're probably watching this on an iPhone, and I'm going mad at them and I'm saying, fucking hell, use your heads, and trying to get it through to them, like, I'm not talking to the guys out there who are kind of like believers in God, or anyone with any faith, or sensible people who, they talk about the chemtrails or anything like that. That's fine, guys. If you can use your iPhone for good things, brilliant, all for it. Like, there's other people as well I've seen using iPhones brilliantly, to put short films together and things like that, because they're quite advanced gadgets, aren't they, right? What I'm knocking is like the young people, that you see, like the trendy, like teenage girls or whatever, and they've all got headphones on, and they're addicted. They're not like using them to they're not doing truthful videos. They're not speaking any sense on YouTube. They're not sending any messages on YouTube or anything like that. They're on iTunes, or watching all the latest pop songs, or watching X Factor, or sending votes to X Factor, or the addiction. They've got an addiction. They're literally blind and addicted to the phones, man. And then they're sucked into the whole network of the phone, area, like, you know what I mean. So anyone out there, guys, who watches my videos, right, if you think I'm sound, if you like me stuff, right, don't ever take it personal when I say things like, hey, you fucking dickheads with iPhones and all that, because I don't mean everyone. Obviously, I know there's good people out there that have got no choice. If you've got no choice, right, and that's all you've got as your sort of means of communication, by all means use it, you know what I mean. Get as much as you can out of the thing, because I wouldn't mind one myself for, like, doing the job search thing. Like, I want to go camping and stuff, but I can't take my computer with me, you know what I mean, sort of thing. I could do with it like a portable gadget, just to do stuff like that, because I've got to do it every day of the week virtually, let the dole know that I'm looking for a job. Like, can you believe I'm unemployed? A person of my talent and stature, unemployed. I'll be 50 in November, and I'm still unemployed. I just don't get it, like, you know what I mean. Why do good artists never get an easy ride in this country, in Great Britain, like, So anyone who's watching this, guys, if you have got an iPhone, and to my friend out there, he knows who he is, like, he's a quiet lad, and he doesn't, like, make much of a fuss, but he's in America and that, like, and he came back to me saying, I've got an iPhone, I use a smartphone, and I don't like it, you know what I mean. I'm like, don't worry about any of that if you're that kind of person, you know what I mean. I'm talking to the young people. I'm talking to, even one of my friends, one of my mates who sits with me, I can sit in a room with him for like an hour, and he doesn't speak to me for an hour, and I'll be talking to him, I'll be asking him questions, and he doesn't answer me. He'll be like that. And it's that kind of activity I'm trying to get to, guys. It's that what I'm trying to tell you, is we're saying, what the hell's happened to you, man? What's happening to the human race? You've all gone iPhone mad. I'm talking about the fanatics and the addicts. Do you understand, guys? So anyone out there who watches my vids and you think I'm okay, don't take it personal. I understand that that's your only means of communication, right, guys? You know, no worries on that score. And the other thing is, like, the SIM cards aren't only in iPhones, are they, guys? They're in mobile phones, period, aren't they? There's no such thing really as a mobile phone without a SIM card. And we know what SIM means. What does SIM mean? Simulation, right? So they're creating a SIM world, guys. It's a SIM planet. It's a SIM Earth. It's simulation. There's a duality going on. There's two worlds. There's the world of reality, of trees and mountains and real clouds in the sky, and then there's the simulation world with the chemtrails. And I think it's got a lot to do with cocaine myself personally. I put that in some of my songs. If you watch my videos, my songs, where there's I try and break it down so people who don't do drugs or have never done drugs understand as well. Do you get me? I try and get, because there's a lot of people out there who never even smoked pot, and they wouldn't know what I'm talking about if I'm going on about cocaine, would they? They wouldn't have a clue. Watch Scarface, and see what I'm talking about. What happens to Scarface as he gets more and more into his mountain of cocaine? He starts going bonkers. That's the lesson. All lads who are like 18, 19 all think they're Scarface now. It's mad. And they all want the wives to be like Michelle Pfeiffer, like that all day, like, I don't get it. Just don't get it, like. So anyway, that's my first message. Like, any one of yous out there, don't worry about your phones if you're flipping, you haven't got a computer or anything. I completely and utterly understand that, you know what I mean? There's loads of good people out there that have got no choice, and I understand that, right? So I apologise if it seems like I'm crashing in on you guys when I say things like that, but I'm talking about the teenagers, I'm talking about the addicts, I'm talking about the nutcases who are, the girls who are getting plastic surgery as well. And there's all kinds of factors I go on about, like, which it's just because I care, you know what I mean? It's care. I don't hate people and all that, I just, like, care too much. That's why I talk about these things, right? My second message is, right, race war, right, guys? The way America is creating this. I mean, let's face it. Obama has been caught on camera, talking and saying, getting it mixed up, where the interviewer says, he's my Muslim faith, and then he goes, my Christian faith. As if he had like two speeches planned, where one was aimed at Christians, where he's going to pretend to be a Christian, and one was aimed at Muslims, so he's going to pretend he's a Muslim, right? So think about what Obama's playing at there, or what the authorities are playing at, where they've got dualities going on, guys, right? So you don't fall for it, right? I know Muslim people, and I've got lots of respect for them, people who I've met over the years, and I go into shops and we've got like Indian people who serve behind the counter, or, well, they're more than likely Sikhs, aren't they? They're most likely to be Sikhs or Hindus, but they'll get labelled as like, everyone will go like, oh, they're all the same, they're all the same. I don't think like that. I don't fall for any of it, you know what I mean? I know in Christianity there are dodgy Christians, like the Pope and the Queen and all these people. They call themselves Christians, right? So we know there's good Christians and we know there's bad, phony Christians, right? Likewise, there must be Muslims out there who have the same vibe, or Islamic people, or Hindus, or Sikhs, or whatever, where they've got people of their own faith, and they just relate to one another, and they try and be good people and all the rest of it. They've got no evil in them and all that. But we all know that there's an undercurrent under every religion, guys, that's like false. They'll say, like, encourage you to be violent, or encourage you to be radicals, or encourage you, the ISIS thing, for example. That does not represent all people who are from Islam, does it? Or represents Islam, So if we watch the news and we fall for this crap where someone says, like, there's a load of Islamic militants or radical militants, Muslims, blah blah blah. Don't fall for it and start walking around the streets looking at like foreign people, or anyone wearing a veil or whatever, or dressed like, and start thinking, oh, they could be like one of them. But that's what the news is planning. That's what they're doing it on purpose, so there's like a little bit of friction, because I go to a shop in town where it's an Asian shop, or not sure what country they're from, but they sell like noodles and things, and like oyster sauce and stuff like that. And the people who run the shop are sound by my, I'm like sort of like traditional Bible reader kind of thing, but I don't go around looking at it thinking, oh, I bet he reads a Quran and that, like, or, you know, it doesn't even enter my head. Whereas if you watch the news or you follow the media and you took it to heart, everything you see with these guys cutting people's heads off and everything, like, it's inciting race hate. And like the guy in England, the thing that happened last year, or was, you know, the was it Lee Ridley, or the soldier who had his head cut off in the street. Do you think that the nutcases who stood there in front of the camera going, oh, because we're defending our people and we, do you think they represent anyone who's decent, or like like genuine people? You know, that every Islamic person thinks like that. That's what the news is casting, isn't it? You know what I mean? So it makes you think that way, like you think, oh, we gotta get rid of all these and all that, like, you know. So don't fall for it. Like, this is what the authorities are planning. It's called race war, guys, or it's religion and race hatred, isn't it? So that we start like looking at each other like sideways, thinking, oh, he could be one of them, he could be one of them. And I don't believe in it at all. I think it's all bullshit. You know what I mean? The human race to me is like we're all on the same planet. And well, let's look at animals, for example, right? Horses. Right, you know what I say? No, what they're trying to do is incite race hatred, like the KKK or the Nazis. You know the way the Nazis were, would you say, like, you know, Hitler insulted Jesse Owens in the Olympics once, didn't he? You know, Jesse Owens, a black guy, won a race. And Hitler was that much of a... That's proof of what a lunatic Hitler was, guys. If he was a decent fella, or he was like, you know, he would have sat there and sort of said, oh, well done, Jesse Owens, you won that race brilliantly. Like, but what does he do? He gets up like a spoiled brat and walks out of the auditorium, or the stadium, because a black guy won a race. Do you know, his Aryan German racing man like didn't win the race, so it was like, how dare this black man win the race? Now that's a Nazi mentality, isn't it, guys? Because like, I don't think like that. You know, there's loads of people I buzz off, multinational. You know what I mean? Shit, the list is too massive for me to go through the amount of people I respect from all different cultures and colours, right? But you know, just the fact that exists in humanity is proof that someone's stirring it up. That it's like it just shouldn't enter our heads to even think about it. Anyone of a different colour, any differently, right? And likewise, anyone thinking of me, and that what I say, if a black dude looked at me and went, oh, well, you know, like the rappers in America, is like, oh, he's a white guy, he's a honky, he's a snowflake. No, I don't care. I don't really care, you know, because I think we've all got red blood, right? I mean, but look at dogs and animals, for example, or horses. Isn't there not like horses that are like white and black horses, and a mixture of horses that are black and white, and brown horses, and grey horses? And dogs are the same. Do you think dogs in the street look at each other and say, like, you know, go, woof woof, that's a black dog and I'm a white dog, woof woof? They've got different colours, but they're the same animal, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? And so the same goes with the human race, guys. We've all got different colours because of where our bloodlines stem from. Like you know, my face and my hair or whatever, my bloodline is more than likely to have come from like Scandinavia or somewhere where there's snow. You know what I mean? Whereas any persons like Afro-Caribbean or African, their bloodlines come from a hot country where they're closer to the sunlight, and it gives them more protection, the pigments in the skin. It's as simple as that. It's all about territory and weather conditions. Not like, you know, oh, we're more superior than them. I can't stand that when I see white supremacy. I think it's a load of crap, you know what I mean? It's the most ridiculous. I think the Nazis are embarrassing. You know, anyone who's been Nazi or National Front, or, you know, there's a film called This Is England, right, guys? Check it out, you know. Shane Meadows, the director. I think it's Shane Meadows. I'm not sure of his name. Shane Meadows. But there's it's a famous movie called This Is England about this kid growing up and joining this skinhead gang kind of thing, yeah. And he goes into a shop and he's like calling the shopkeeper a packy and all that stuff, yeah, right. Whereas like, there'd be loads of knobheads, right, loads of skinheads or punks, the stupid kind, because most punks I knew were intelligent guys. Most people I knew in the punk world were very intelligent people, like, you know what I mean, or students or artists and that, right. Whereas you watch this, if you were a stupid, spacker, sort of silly, backward kind of mind, and you watch the movie This Is England, right, you'd think in your head, oh, that's the way to do it. That you go round and call, call shopkeepers, packies and all, like, get together and stuff. And to me, it's so fake, right? Because the director of that movie, is not telling skinheads to go out being racialist. He's telling them what not to do. If you read between the lines and watch it, like, he was obviously based on his own personal experiences. He was probably a skinhead himself. Shane Meadows, like, he was probably a skinhead himself, like, yeah. And he's probably seen this kind of stuff going on and regretted it and thought it was stupid. So he puts it in the movie, as if to say, like, where the poor black dude gets beat up at the end by the silly, violent, jealous skinhead who's a bit like neurotic, or he's on too much amphetamine or something, yeah. Because I've noticed amphetamine and skinheads go hand in hand, you know what I'm saying, like. And you're supposed to watch that film, right, and say, wow, that's wrong. We shouldn't act like that. It's a bit silly. That's what the director's trying to say. Whereas there's a lot of skinheads watch that film and they're like, duh, whoa, look at our heroes, this is England, go out and beat up packies and all that stuff, yeah. And so, if you sat down with the director, he'd probably say, nah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you not to do that. Like, I'm trying to show you how pathetic it looks like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of kind of cross wires and mixed up emotions about these issues. Because you get common sense, man, you know what I mean? So, don't fall for the race war spin, guys, on the news and anything like, or the religion spin where it's like trying to make Jews and Christians and Muslims all hate each other. Oh man, if you went into these places yourself and you were talking to people and they probably said they don't know what you're talking about. If they didn't watch the news or they didn't watch the media or they didn't watch, this is what Obama's playing at. He's using a worldwide kind of they're capitalising on all the media channels and all the news channels to create the spin. And people shouldn't fall for it, you know what I mean? We should be above that, man, by now. If you're a bit daft, if you're a bit silly, a bit like, simple, and like, you're going to watch This Is England and think you've got to go out like picking on shopkeepers because they come from another country. It's a bit like stupid, isn't it? It's ridiculous, you know what I mean? Because I've got no complaints with anyone. I buzz off all, to me the world is big enough, the earth is big enough, and the universe expands and there's always stars being created every single day we are alive. A star is being born at the edges of the edges of the universe is constantly expanding. So we've got this little mad thing sort of going, overpopulation, immigrants and all that kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, immigrants, I mean, I don't even, I live in Britain, right, and I just haven't got a clue why anyone would want to like leave another country and come here. I just don't understand it. You see all these immigrants waiting at Calais in France for the ferry, or trying to work a way of getting over to Britain. And I'm like, my advice to you guys is go back where you came from and enjoy it, like, because you'd be pissed off if you came here. I'm telling you, it's more depressing, because it's only an island and there's only so much space, you know what I mean? There's water all around us in Britain, like. I don't even know why you just want to leave your own countries, because I'd be like, I don't only too happy to do a swap. You know what I mean? Someone wants to move here, like, and swap places with me, and I go to Tunisia or somewhere, or flipping, I don't care, because it's the same wherever you go, guys. Your own heaven is in yourself, in your mind and everything. We need the Lord Creator to govern these things, right, guys? That's a fact, right? But like, I've got a sort of line in one of my songs, heaven is here in your souls, I decree. It's up to yourself, you make your own life, you know what I mean? If you make it a misery for yourself, it's going to be hell, isn't it? You know what I mean? Say if you're a drug addict or something, like, your life is going to be hell. If you're sensible and you're enjoying life and you're positive, it's going to be like heaven, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? It's in yourself. You've got to like kind of like, use your mind and realise that your brain is connected, to the whole of the universe kind of thing, yeah. I don't even know why I bother, but like, that's me main message, like, first message, anyone who's got an iPhone out there, guys, and you've got no other means of communication, I apologise if it sounds like I'm, getting on your cases, but I don't mean people like yourselves, do I? I mean the addicts and the young people that are a bit like fooled by it all, you know what I mean? Like the iPhone 6 has just been released, hasn't it? And it's like Oh, it's everywhere, pictures of it and adverts everywhere for it, like, you know what I mean? And it's shrunk, hasn't it? It's even slimmer. It's like what I'm saying to you is about the shrinking factor. The latest iPhone is now, like, wafer thin. It's getting tiny, it's working its way to the chip there, guys, you know, it starts off in your hand in a form, and in a phone, like, and then it's the chip, it's coming through, isn't it? The chip is shrinking into our, you know, there's the watch now, isn't there, as well, the smart watch. It's like, it's on your wrist already, like, and it's like a little mini iPhone put into, they're getting there, aren't they? They're sort of putting it slowly into us, the chip is slowly, not me personally, but, you know, I'll have to go to the guillotine, won't I? When I say, oh no, I believe in the Lord God Almighty, and say, no, you got to swear allegiance to Lucifer and take this iPhone. I say, wait, show me the way to the guillotine, guys. Make sure it's a clean cut. You know what I mean? Just show me the way to the guillotine, because I ain't fucking worshipping no Lucifer, mate. Do you know what I mean? Well, Lucifer's behind all that stuff. Lucifer is behind race hatred and you know, judging each other by the colour of the skin and all that stuff. Oh, come on, guys, don't fall for it, you know what I mean? Don't listen to anything on the news. I mean, I know there's plenty of people out there on YouTube who are sensible enough to know what I'm talking about already, that's already in their heads. But anyone out there who's new to me, like, you know, any young people, any teenagers, anyone, like, you need a kick up the arse, you know what I mean? You need to wake up before you become robots, like. I don't want to see people turning into androids, man. It's going to end up like Blade Runner. You know what I mean? It's getting ridiculous. It's a silicon world. I don't want to be a part of it, like. I want to be like Robinson Crusoe. Eating pineapples on a desert island. And coconuts. Anyway, just a quick message. Don't fall for the race war, guys. Don't fall for race hatred. Don't be turning on people just because they got, like, whether they're Christians, Jews, Muslims, whatever. It's up to yourselves what you believe, you know what I mean? You've really got the choice to do what you want to do, yeah. But, like, if some skinhead come up to me and started insulting me because the colour of my skin or whatever, or because I was carrying a Quran or something like that, I just tell them straight, like, you need to go and get a brain operation, mate, and you realise, go and watch the footage of Hitler walking out when Jesse Owens won a race, like a spoilt little brat, like, my Aryan didn't win the race. That just meant, that's lunacy, that you can do. If you can't see the madness in Adolf Hitler yet, you've got to be fucking totally as thick as pigs, man. You've got to be pigs with two legs, upright pigs, to not even see the madness of Adolf Hitler, like. Do you know, the madness of him, like. But that proves it. That's one point I always bring up. I say, just watch it. Jesse Owens was a brilliant athlete, wasn't he? He won a race, like, and then Hitler gets up, walks out the stadium, like, in a huff. Actually, you know, it bothered him that much, he walked out, like. You know, I think that's hilarious. You know what I mean? So yeah, don't fall for the race war, guys. And if you've got a phone and you've got no other means of communication, don't worry about that, guys. You know what I mean? Use them if you can for creativity or for something productive, by all means. I've just got to think about the SIM cards and the towers, and just watching everyone in the street just doing that, like, you know, it's like, that's a different world, guys. If you're not like that, if you've got an iPhone, by all means use it for creativity, you know what I mean? But if you're going to be like that all day, that's a different world, guys, you know what I mean? Or buy a BlackBerry. Get a black. Everyone wants a BlackBerry anymore, do they? You know, when BlackBerries were like, they were like the dog's bollocks, weren't they? Like, and now it's like, no one wants a BlackBerry. It's like, if you're carrying a BlackBerry these days, it's like wearing flares and platform shoes, man. You know, it's like, oh, you woolly back. You know, Gary Glitter shoes and flared trousers, like, if you're carrying a BlackBerry, it's ridiculous. Because he hasn't got a touch screen, you know what I mean, like. Well, bearing in mind, right, there's a film out there called District 9, and you see, and don't get me wrong, the aliens are good in that, aren't they, the prawns, right, but there's a bit where they're like that, aren't they? He flies the spaceship by going like that. Do you know, like, everything, there's no control panel, there's no buttons or dials, they're just holograms, aren't they? I know it's only a movie, but you know what I'm saying, what I'm getting at, where it gets to the point where, you know, you've got televisions now, guys, where you go, you want to turn over, you go it down the screen, and it's turning it into an alien race. You're going like that with your hands, like, turn over to BBC One, turn the music up a bit. Who wants to be like that? I don't want to be like that, you know what I mean? Sod that, like. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to work on some speeches about art soon, and start getting some messages. I'm moving home soon, like, guys. I'm leaving Birkenhead, so I've got to start packing and boxing things off and everything, and you know, I've got to move to another town on the Wirral. So I've got to get, if I'm off YouTube for a while, or don't communicate for a while, or don't reply to messages for a while, it's because I've switched it off for a while, okay? But yeah, once I've moved and I'm settled, I'm going to be concentrating on more artistic material, you know, me paintings and me music and stuff like, and I can't think of anything else that I haven't said, and you know, like messages that are urgent, that people need to hear, because there's a lot of people out there already doing it, isn't it? You know, I've got a certain style of doing things, haven't I? And I want to work on some comedy, like, guys. I've got some cartoons and stuff like that I want to share, like, which you think is hilarious. I want to get people laughing for a change, you know what I mean? Instead of being paranoid and miserable. You know, we need to laugh a bit, like, you know what I mean, and forget about the shitty problems of the world and what the news is doing. And to all those people out there in Scotland who voted, you know, to be independent, I feel sorry for you guys. You know, really am, like, fucking disappointed about that. That Scotland voted to fucking stay in the United Kingdom. That was a rigged fucking vote. If you want my opinion, like, there's no way. You know, it's a bum steer, wasn't it? All that attention and all that focus on television and everything, and then they don't get their independence after all. You know, the Queen, I mean, what time is it? She hasn't got long, you know. You know, I hear she made a phone call to David Cameron and purred like a cat when she found out that, you know, they'd won the vote to stop Scotland being independent. And I'm a bit pissed off about that. Like, what right has the Queen got? Anything, you know, these Roman, Babylonian, Egyptian sort of Roman emperor leaders, what right have they got to, like, Ben Nevis or Mount Snowdon or Snaefell on the Isle of Man? You know, the mountains will speak for themselves one day, guys. Not the fucking skyscrapers, not the Gherkin, not Canary Wharf, not Buckingham Palace. One day the land will start speaking for itself, you'll see. You know, because votes, you're wasting your time voting for anything in this world, man, because they can just fix it, can't they? You know what I mean? So anyway, final message. My heart goes out to people in Scotland. You know, I'm a bit disappointed about myself, you know what I mean, but maybe next time, eh, guys? I don't know. Maybe next time. Alright, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for some interesting videos, a bit more interesting than, you know, me just ranting, like, in my non-profits and activism category.